The following show and its content are the responsibility of the show's producers and participants.
Information related in this program is not meant to substitute medical recommendations. Before starting a treatment program, you should consult your physician.
T-minus 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Ignition. Liftoff.
That's right. Welcome to the Couch Live here on the Problem Solving Network, WPSN99.com. Along here, I am the street certified dope doctor, Louis Delgado, here with you, along with Trinity Phillips, my co-host, the Dharma Guy. Hello, Dharma Guy.
Hey, what's going on?
There you are. Now
I'll
you're
be busy today.
Oh, man, it's so...
busy little fingers.
Busy little... Well, yeah, I got to run left, run right. I love it. All right, so... Even though I didn't check all these levels, Trinity, I'm sure your level's good. Let me check it out.
Sure.
Say something for us.
Something for us.
Okay. that works. That's enough. That's enough, I guess. But anyway, all right, so how you doing, man? It's a beautiful Friday. Man, that weather feels so good out
it's
there.
getting warmer. I'm not sure if I'm cool with that. I prefer the cooler weather, man.
What do you mean it's getting warmer?
It's getting warmer. It's back up, what? I can't check the actual one because my phone's over there, but...
What do you mean?
It's back up into like the 70s and like the high 70s, low 80s. I'm not cool with that, man.
Is it?
I prefer the cooler weather.
What do you mean high 70s?
High 70s. That's higher.
Is it really? For real?
Yeah.
It's higher than the low 70s? Is that what your smart Alex was about to
Yes,
say?
I was. I was about to do that.
All right, well, I didn't know that. I didn't know it was like that. To me, it felt just nice and cool. Felt like 70 degrees.
Well, remember that one day you thought it was like cool and it was like 80. So
you got a point there.
You know what? You keep telling me it's because you're getting older. I can't wait till I get to that age.
You're gonna love it.
To where like I'm not.
You're gonna love
extremely hot every day.
You're gonna love it. You're gonna love it.
I hope so, man. I'm looking forward to that.
So where's Robbie?
He's abandoned us, man.
Robbie, where you at, Robbie? Robbie, are you there, Robbie?
I don't know.
Robbie, I mean, Marissa's there. Clara's there. I can't even talk. Robbie's not there. Robbie,
I don't know.
Our intern, the Grasshopper, has hopped away.
Apparently, we're not on the top of the priority list anymore.
He didn't reach out. I wonder where he's at. I wonder if he's okay. Maybe we should check on him. Maybe we should check. I'm going to text him.
Call
Go ahead
live.
and tell everybody what we're talking about today, and I'm going to text him. I'm going to text Robbie. Matter of fact, I should show his phone number on the radio.
Do the whole toot.
Exactly.
Somebody can decipher that. Well, the first thing we're going to have to talk about is your all-star celebrity status, jet-setting across the country over here.
Oh,
so
boy.
we have to discuss as you told me last week, or on Tuesday on my show, was
what?
Back to the homeland.
That's right. West Coast.
Mexicanos.
West Coast.
Yeah, and for those of you who, on my show on Tuesday, I talked about it, but he was uber Mexican on Tuesday. He had a bright green soccer jersey with a Mexican flag in the middle.
It was the national soccer.
He was using
uniform.
words like orale. I was like, hold on, man, you're still in Orlando, bro, or Central Florida.
Yeah, man. I was going back to the west side.
But you did get some tacos, I saw, which is always good.
John Ferris and I got some huge tacos.
I saw that.
Yeah, it was actually really good, man. I went out there and I visited Anchored Recovery. We did the Couch Live on tour, minus my co-host. Trinity got left behind. He didn't go on tour with us. But the Couch Live went on tour, and we went out and visited a treatment center called Anchored Recovery Communities.
Right on.
And it was really awesome. I went surfing, Trinity. Well,
where's the name Anchored come from?
I guess it's called surfing.
You attempted to surf?
I attempted to surf. I mean, I rode that wave twice,
Right on.
all the way in.
Oh, very cool.
The first time I did a trick. I did for those of you out there, because now I'm a fellow surfer. So, you fellow surfers out there, I'm going to say words like brah.
Right
now.
on, brah.
Yeah, I was pretty stoked. So, I'm going to talk to my surfer buddies. They know what I'm talking about. I was like riding a wave, I was going out,
We need Aaron in here.
I was getting a set.
A set. Wow.
I was in the middle of my session, my first session.
Nice.
And, I just kind of rode the wave backwards all the way in. Stayed on my belly just to ride it all the way in backwards. I just wanted to see what the waves felt like.
Nice.
And then the second time, I went back out there, and, a little help of a friend kind of helped push me out there because my arms kind of felt like jelly.
Nice.
And the second time, I actually turned around and then rode it all the way in. And,
Correctly.
I was gonna pop up, and like do the stance, do the surfer stance. But then I figured, why do that? I get on an airplane, and what do you do on an airplane? You sit.
Sit, yes.
You go on a bus. What
sit.
do? You sit. You look for the seat. You don't stand unless you're you're the last one there. I drive a car all the time. What do?
Sit.
So, I decided I'm just going to stay on my belly.
It's not a bad decision.
I didn't pop up.
I will say, as a friend and someone who needs you productive around him and whatnot,
Yeah.
I'm glad that you sat or on your belly.
I was on my
because
belly.
you don't have a great history of going to other locations and doing physical activities and not hurting yourself.
And not coming back injured.
Yes. So for that, we're thankful.
Well, let's give a hand. Louis went out to Califas and didn't come back injured.
Exactly.
Yay.
No broken. What was it last time?
Nothing.
Collarbone.
I think it was a shoulder last time, but nothing.
Good.
The last one was last Thanksgiving. The finger, wasn't it? The
Yeah, I think so. But that wasn't. I don't know if I would constitute as a trip. That was more like a.
Well, it was
like
a trip to Sarasota.
Yeah.
Boxing my nephew.
Yeah, so I would say that the last actual bona fide trip was the
it was summer.
yeah, it was the what was it, Carolina, I think it was.
Yeah.
Right on.
Yeah, so I mean that was the last trip. Wait a minute, what's going on here?
I don't know. I can't hear you.
You can't hear me.
I mean, I can hear you in person, but I can't hear you via.
Hey.
Oh no! See, it was that trip.
Again.
That was the trip.
Oh no. You know what? I'm starting to really be upset with my new microphone here.
Oh no, no bueno.
No, it's no bueno.
That was your trip though. You took all your wires and everything with you to.
My microphone came back injured.
Did you take that microphone?
No, I did not take this microphone.
So what it is your microphone's upset with you.
It really is.
You cheated on it with another microphone.
It really.
Oh, there you go.
Whoa.
Loud and clear.
Yeah, it's like
In and out.
Something's going on with it here.
No bueno.
No.
Uh-oh.
I don't know if it's the board or my mic. It might be the board.
I don't know.
Let me switch. You keep on talking.
I'm going to talk about. Well, we'll get started on the topic until you can come back and BS with us.
That's scary.
So the the topic you wanted to discuss today was the be the present by being present, which I think is very interesting. Obviously, it's somewhat in my wheelhouse when it comes to the spirituality aspect of things. I like the concept, right? Because last week we talked about the top 10 list of getting ready for the holidays and preparing yourself for everything that comes with it. And one of the things that people do stress out about, I guess, or think about is giving presents and what they can afford, what they can't afford. Is the person going to like what I'm going to get them? And all these other kind of nuances and all these other issues that come with it. Some people stress out more than others when it comes to that, for sure. But I definitely. You're taking JoJo's. Ooh.
I'm gonna just take another microphone.
Oh, and now yours is working.
What? It is?
Yeah.
Of course it is. As soon as it saws I was going to replace it.
As soon as you snatched JoJo's.
Yeah.
So JoJo, if you're listening, he's taking your mic. Not cool.
Was it Joe?
Oh, yours went out again.
Yeah. Oh yeah, playing games with me over here.
That's funny. And then watch, it's going to be the cord now, not just the. Wait a minute.
It's not the cord.
Yeah, it's the cord because that one's not working either.
Oh.
Anyways,
that's great if it's the cord though.
I think it is the cord.
Great.
I can't even talk today either, man. I got this sickness. Anyways, so worrying about the different presents and stuff, what to get, what not to get, who's going to like what. And I think what you're implying by be the present, by being present, means the greatest gift that you can give your friends, the greatest gift you can give your family is being present, being actually there, being aware of what's happening, being involved with the conversations, involved with the family, involved in all that stuff. And I think that's people underestimate, I guess. Oh, then you were just destroying everything today.
Well, man,
his microphone's not working.
Show first, right?
For those of you who are not watching the Facebook live feed, the dope doctor over here is having quite the day. First, his microphone's going out, has to replace the cable. Now he gets up to go get a new cable, drops my phone almost, doing the live stream there. So good times over here at WPSN. Anyways, so being present by being the present is pretty profound, I guess. I think people underestimate how much they're not present. I think individuals do it on a regular basis who aren't struggling with drugs and alcohol, let alone the people who are. And when you're under the influence, or when you're thinking about your next fix, or you're worried about that, or worried about this, you're not present. You're not there. And we've all had those moments where we've had somebody who's so stressed out or so just not in the moment that you're trying to talk to them, and like the glazed over look in their eyes, or the you're asking them a question and like and they're just not there. And I'm assuming that's what the dope doctor is inferring to. We didn't have a poignant discussion prior to this, but that's my take on things. Being present is a huge aspect when it comes to spirituality. What I talk about is being in the moment, because too many times we're not able to fully appreciate what's happening in front of us and what we're doing and what we're experiencing and all the things that life has to offer, because we're so worried about the next moment, or we're still upset about the previous moment. And I think that takes away not only from the experience that the people around us are going to have, but also takes away from your experience and your memories. When you look back, you're not going to have this awesome memory of, hey, this happened and then this happened and we all had fun. No, you're going to look back and be like, oh, well, yeah, I don't know. I don't really remember all that. It wasn't that great of a time. And then it takes away from your overall experience. No, here we go. He's got his new chord. Uh-oh. Let's see. Drum roll. Drum roll.
I don't know.
Yeah, there it goes.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen.
You can hear me?
The dope doctor is back.
Oh, my God.
You're back in black.
You see how that works? It's this is the second time this cable failed me, huh?
Yeah.
This cable inside here?
Yeah. Is it the cable, or is it just the microphone just blowing through cables?
It's the internal cable. It's this internal cable.
Wow.
The one that's inside this. Anyway, you did pretty good there, occupying space and time.
I do my best.
Yeah, you want to stick this one back on there, sir?
So JoJo doesn't get angry?
I don't lose it, yeah. Anyway, well, we would call it Robbie's microphone, but we don't know where he is.
He's MIA, man.
So you were doing pretty good explaining it. I mean...
Well, I was giving the spiritual perspective.
Yeah. Yeah, but I mean, because a lot of times people aren't, allowing themselves to be present in moments. You know what I mean? Like they choose... I think a lot of people choose to focus on the problems in their life and other periods of their life, or other aspects of their life that may not be relevant at the moment. You know what I mean? And sometimes you have to be in the relevant moment, which is, be in the exact space which you're at. So, like, if you're spending time with family, it's like, be right there with your family. If you're spending time with your kids, or if you're at work, be at work.
Yeah.
Instead of, thinking about all the stressors that you have back at home. I mean, a lot of people right now, since they have family coming in and all that stuff, they're preoccupied. They're at work, but they're not really at work, Trinity.
Yeah.
They're Grouponing.
Well, that's what I was saying.
They're on Amazon, smile.amazon.com, and using the Now Matters More Foundation as their charity.
Message.
Yeah,
exactly. No, for sure. I use the example, right? Because we've all had that moment, I guarantee you, with somebody, or even ourselves.
Right.
Where you're involved in a conversation, and you're like, you're telling the story or whatever it is, and you ask the question, and the person's like, yeah. Mm-hmm. They're just not there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Exactly. Just like that. And I'm guilty of it sometimes, especially if, and I do my best to improve this as much as I can, but I'm human like everybody else.
Right.
And so, for sure, there's days where I'm like working on something at the house even, and one of my kids will come up and they'll ask me a question. I was like, yeah. And I just tell them whatever I got to tell them to keep the movement or the moment going so I can get back to what I needed to do.
Right.
That's the definition of not being there.
Yeah.
Oh, your mic went out again.
Well, it's not the cable.
No. Wow. It's it's got to be the board or the phone, or microphone.
It's the microphone, I think.
Oh, that's just not that.
Really
ladies and gentlemen, this is not a good day for us.
That's really upsetting.
Y'all don't understand. I'm on this camera for the YouTube one.
Yeah.
I want everybody to have a moment of silence right now
You don't understand.
for Louis' microphone. This was like his prized possession.
I waited for this microphone.
He talks to it even when we're not on the air. He talks like that's his thing, and it looks like he's gonna have to do without. Oh, that's brutal. Maybe Santa Claus will bring you a new one, man.
This is my Shure NT1A microphone.
His Shure NT1A. You get the model down pat, huh?
Yeah, I'm gonna have to switch sides.
Sure.
All right, so now I'm not. How am I gonna switch? How is this gonna work? Let's see how this works, Trinity. Good luck with this. Is it? Whoa.
It's a good thing. Was it Video Killed the Radio Star?
I don't know.
Oh wow, this feels weird already.
Yeah.
I don't know if I like this.
God, this is short.
It's sitting next to me now.
What's up with that?
But anyways, so like I said, I'm guilty of it myself.
It's a Cecil.
I don't know. I don't use that one.
Can you hear me?
No,
No.
I don't think you have the thing turned up. But anyways, I'm somewhat guilty of it myself in certain aspects of life. I try not to be, but it happens. But I definitely know people are oftentimes too guilty of it, especially during the holidays, man. Holidays are so stressful. Holidays, I was driving my 17-year-old the other day, and he was noticing that there was so many cars like just cutting people off, and there's like a lot of attitude out there driving around. And I was like, 'tis the season. For some reason, this is supposed to be the season of giving and holidays, and everybody's supposed to be loving one another and thinking and being grateful and celebratory and all these other wonderful things. But instead, there's a lot of people who are upset. They're agitated. They're trying to get from one point to the other. They're worried about bills. They're worried about bonuses. They're trying to figure out whose house they're going to go to and all these other things. And as you pointed out, that's the definition of not being present, not being aware of what's taking place in front of you while it's taking place. And so I think that, something we all need to get better at. And as far as being the present, for your friends and family, many of whom might not, especially if you're dealing with addiction, many of your friends and family haven't seen you present, and and depending on how long, could be years, could be months, depending on how long you've been using. You've been physically there, but you haven't been, there as far as mentally present. And I think that, as a parent now, thankfully I've never had to have one of my kids deal with this disease, and hopefully I never will. But I can't imagine what it would be like to watch my children suffer and watch my children go through things that I couldn't help take away or heal their pain, and have, Christmases and things of that nature, and either have them not physically there where I'm worrying about them, or having them there and seeing them so stressed out that I can't do anything to help take their mind off of it or what have you. And so I do think that's one of the best gifts that you could give is physically being present with them and kind of giving them what they remember. Whoa.
Yeah.
Easy there.
I don't know what's happening. There's like gremlins in here all day.
Mine works just fine.
Oh, yeah, of course it does. Of course it does.
This is awesome. Oh, wait a minute. Nope,
No.
still can't hear you.
No, something's going crazy over here.
But anyways, I know for
I'd be happy if it's the board. I'm a lot happier if it's the board. It better be the board.
our producer / host over here is he's not happy today.
Woo, boy, that Facebook Live is interesting.
Right?
I just can't talk at all.
No,
Of course it works right now, this very second. I'm just going to speak as much as I can in this very little second that my microphone's working.
Just don't touch
It's incredible.
anything.
It's incredible. It's not about touching. It just doesn't want to work for me today. I made so much fun of you on the last show, the Dharma time.
Exactly,
right?
Exactly.
I'm just having to.
I'm gonna need you to be present right now.
I'm present. I'm present in the moment. You know what moment I'm present in, Trinity? Chaos.
Yeah.
It's like whatever's clever, Trinity. I don't care.
Hey, we're still alive,
Let the
man.
board die. Let the mics die. Let it all die. Here's the real deal. You know. I had a fantastic week already.
No, you're touching stuff.
So I know. I better
gonna
not.
go
I
out.
shouldn't touch it. Listen, I was surfing,
Yeah.
and to all my surfing brothers and sisters out there, understand. I don't care what happens in the world as long as I can catch the next wave, Trinity. And
Wow,
right now,
that was very deep.
I'm catching the next wave. That's what it is.
That was very deep.
I was trying to tell my story.
Yeah.
And you did an awesome job filling in about the topic, which is the real deal, is being present in the moment.
Yeah.
And you know what? The other thing that I think we need to add to this is, if you, I know,
Every time you touch it.
because it's kind of high. You know what I mean? It's
Sure.
kind of, It's not where I want it to be, Trinity. And sometimes it's just not where you want it to be. And that's just life, Trinity.
And that's actually what my last show was about.
Right?
Pain is part of life.
Pain is a part of life. That was, by the way, if you missed Dharma Time airs right after the Couch Live. So today,
Yeah.
if you're listening to this show right now, Trinity did an entire show on pain is a part of life. Right after this show, it airs, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So we did
And
it
this would be
live.
an example of what I'm talking about.
And this is
no matter
perfect
what
example.
you do, things happen.
Right. Oh, and boy, do they happen today.
Yeah.
Wow, Trinity.
It's been like that the last couple of days, though, to be honest with you. It's been a crazy week, man.
Well, let me tell you. All right, so before I lose my microphone again.
Yeah.
So the reason that I wanted to talk about that, you got to be the president, because there's a lot of people out there that are struggling. I know some people that I'm communicating with that are really struggling right now, and instead of focusing, I don't have a place to live, or I'm not having this, or I'm not having this, they're using. What I want to encourage them to do is, you know what? Why don't you give yourself and give your family the best present you can ever give them, and just be the best you can be. Be better.
Be better. There you go.
Be better, because right now they don't have you. They're going into the holidays still not wanting to hear the phone ring because it's scary. When you have a loved one that's using out there, it's scary when that phone rings, especially if it's in the middle of the night or something.
I can't imagine. I mean, and that's what I was saying right before you got your mic back.
Right.
That was the way I was relating to it was, having kids. They're not old enough, and thankfully they haven't dealt with any, drug and alcohol issues or something like that. Hopefully they never do. But I just can't imagine what that would be like, though, to see your children be like a shell of themselves.
Oh my God.
For a long time. Somebody you love and care about, and you remember them as little kids and how smiling and laughter and all this hope and love and potential for them, to kind of see them struggling. Because I've seen, I haven't seen my children, but I have seen individuals based upon what we do. I've seen people on the other side of that, and I've seen them at the beginning of recovery, or beginning stages of kind of going through detox and starting, and then seen them 30, 60, however many days afterwards, and it's like a complete difference.
Right.
So I can't imagine what it's like as a parent to see your child and want that for them. Mm-hmm. And so I can imagine that would be the greatest gift. I guarantee if you go to any parent right now and you ask them, hey, would you rather have, $1 million or this, and this, or this biggest, beautiful gift, or have your child be clean and sober and happy, they'll take that 100 times over.
Oh, very much. I mean, absolutely, Trinity. And I know here's the thing is this, you are suffering out there, for the people that I'm talking to. You're out there, you're suffering. You don't know what to do, but they're still willing to help you. There's still support systems out there that are willing to help you. You may not think that they understand or get it, only because they're not giving you what you want, but they get it. Oh, they 100% get it. What you're not getting is that they're suffering just as much as you are, if not more, because they're not anesthetized. They don't have any of the moments where they can forget.
Yeah, they're not. They're
not numb to it. They don't have that melting point. They're having to live through this and go through this just fully aware and fully ready. You know what I mean? So you can make that choice today and do something. Now, again, I was out in California visiting a good program, and what I did, the Couch Live on location was real. We filmed 2 programs. I mean, we recorded 2 programs.
Oh, wow.
So we'll have a part 1 and part 2 that we'll play during the holidays, so we can have our holidays off, Trinity.
Sure.
So we can take our Christmas and New Year's off. We'll play those shows back to back the next 2 weeks.
Very cool.
So we'll have a couple of weeks off. But a place like, did you see what shirt I'm wearing today? You notice?
Retreat.
I'm wearing a
nice.
Retreat shirt today. Retreat's one of our major sponsors.
Addiction Treatment Centers.
That's right.
Bam.
You got it. Retreat Premier Addiction Treatment. The only reason we're able to bring you this programming a full hour without any commercial interruption is because Retreat Premier Addiction Treatment Centers, Journey Pure, Orange County Drug-Free Office, and the Now Matters More Foundation.
Yes.
So because we have these partners, these sponsors, we're able to bring you this programming. And more importantly, we're able to talk at a time right now where everybody's thinking about family and everybody's so stressed out and everybody's running around and everybody's thinking about their pocketbook and their wallets.
Yeah.
Spending way too much money. And having arguments about where we're going to go and who we're going to spend time with. This is a time more just to be present in the moment and just enjoy it, man. Just look at the lights. I don't even care if you don't even like the whole Christmas deal. Look how beautiful some of these lights are.
I will have to say, remember, I was a few weeks ago.
You went to St. Augustine.
We went to St. Augustine.
Yeah, can you please tell us about that? Because I've been dying to ask you about the experience. So go ahead. Let me flip this camera around to you. Go ahead, talk.
First of all, it was way different than I expected it to be. I'm not huge into the Christmas lights. I'm not that guy. I would love to be that guy, but I'm just, I don't know. I mean, you've seen lights, you've seen them all, I guess. I will say, though, there's a house we typically go to every year. I posted plenty of pictures about it. Really, really cool. I mean, it's way overdone, and it's really awesome. And that one I kind of like going to just because I can respect the amount of effort that went into that, like, craziness. But I took myself, it was my mother, all 4 kids, my wife, we all went to St. Augustine, and they have like a trolley there. And you get on this trolley, and it takes you around town. It's kind of weird in a couple of moments because you're in a trolley. I don't know if you've ever been to St. Augustine. I know you have, right?
Yeah, of course.
So the city streets are really, really kind of narrow.
Yeah.
And so you're going through on this trolley, and you're just sitting here, and there's people literally like within like 2 feet from you.
You can tap them on the head
if you wanted to, and they're all like waving at us, like we're in a parade or something. So I was just like, "Hi," and then you stop at a stoplight, and the person was just waving at you.
Yeah,
is still standing like 2 feet from you. Yeah. You're like, "This is awkward."
Well, you don't like me anymore?
Yeah,
just
like,
keep waving at him.
Hi. Keep waving. Anyways, so the whole St. Augustine, they do all these lights and everything. The whole city's lit up. They have like all these festivities happening, which is kind of a cool thing. Mm-hmm. But the thing that I didn't expect was they give you these little glasses when you start, right? So we took this little shuttle.
Like shot glasses?
No, glasses. Like
eyeglasses.
Sort of. They took us. We jumped on the shuttle at the old jail, which was weird.
Okay. You start in jail.
Yeah.
And you're released.
Exactly.
So you start off happy.
Yeah. And they take us into town. That's when we catch a trolley. Mm-hmm. And they give you these little glasses, which at first I was like, why are we wearing these? They remind me of the old, like, 1990s, like, 3D kind of glasses you wear to the movie theater.
Yeah.
And you put them on, and it turns all of the lights into shapes.
Oh, so with the paper glasses?
They're paper glasses with like a weird little film over it. That when you look at lights, so every Christmas light that was lit up and brake lights, everything for me was snowflakes.
Well, even brake lights.
Everything, any light that came through it turned into like a halo of snowflake around it. And then my children had one
hallucinogenic lenses.
Exactly. And then my kids had one that turned everything into reindeer, like a reindeer face.
Okay.
So basically, you know how lights have a halo effect around them? Mm-hmm. Well, it turned that halo effect into either a snowflake or a reindeer.
Okay.
That was kind of cool. It was a cool idea. I didn't expect that.
Right.
But all in all, it was a good family trip. We had a good time.
Wait, that's the Festival of Lights? That's it?
Well, I mean, we got there kind of late because it's a long drive, and we got a late start. So we didn't get a chance to go into the stores and stuff or eat there. We ate on the way home.
But wait a minute, is that what everybody drives up to put these glasses on to see that?
Yes,
That's why you go up there? It's almost like a bait and switch.
I think they went up there for the ambiance. You know, there's Christmas music playing. There's lots of people out there walking around.
I got albums. I can put that on. I got Pandora.
You're preaching to the choir, bro?
Wait a minute. No, wait a minute. I thought you had a fantastic experience.
I thought it was cool.
But I feel ripped off in just listening to the story.
Yeah. Well,
I feel like
I don't know what
my listening got ripped off. I wanted to hear this great story.
Well, you know what it was?
About how cool the lights were, how they spent all this money on these cool string of lights, and you've never seen a laser light show like this, Louis. And all you're telling me is they gave you hallucinogenic lenses.
There is one like that over in Brevard. I'm gonna go check out, I think. But here's something I'm gonna make it all wrap around for you.
Yeah, you hear the little horse running in our ears.
I do.
All right, I have no idea what that is. I'm afraid to even move it.
Yeah, I'm going to come full circle here. Watch this.
Right.
So, yes, they were lights. They were just random lights.
Okay.
But because I was present in the moment.
Okay, bring us back.
What I got from it.
Let me get my chi back.
There you go.
All right, go ahead.
What I got from it wasn't the lights and stuff, because I agree. I don't really care much about lights. I'm just not that dude.
Yeah.
But I love the fact that my kids, they were happy. They loved it.
For sure.
We had a moment where we were all in the trolley, and they felt grown because they got to sit a couple spaces back with their older siblings.
Right on.
So they weren't sitting right next to dad.
Yeah.
So they felt grown. They had a good time. They were all shocked, and they were trying each other's glasses out and looking at things.
Oh, yeah, because you got to trade the glasses. You got to see it like a reindeer.
Absolutely. And then my mom, she was happy because she wanted to go out with her grandkids and her son, and she wanted to see it. She still likes the lights and stuff like that. And my wife and I had a cool couple moments where we were just sitting, the two of us, and we were able to kind of relax for a minute. a night out for us when the kids were, a couple rows back, whatever.
Right.
So for me, that was what the best part of it was just kind of a cool family moment where we all just had a pleasant time.
Right.
We weren't, the kids weren't on their iPads,
Right.
or the 17-year-old Trevor wasn't on his PlayStation.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody was just present. Everybody was there. We were all
Mm-hmm.
talking, interacting with one another. We were looking at stuff, and because we were present, I enjoyed it. So it wasn't the lights and stuff, but it took the lights for us to be present.
Were you wearing sweaters? Were you
No.
all dressed alike?
No,
Wait a minute, you didn't do the old Griswold family?
no,
We're all gonna dress alike.
no. They're always cold all the time, so
Yeah.
they were all in like jackets and stuff.
Right.
I was just in a t-shirt and shorts. So
I would love to see you in a family photo with everybody
Everybody all dressed
with
up.
the same sweater.
I would do it just to make fun. I wouldn't do it
It would be an
seriously.
awesome picture.
I would do it.
You should do it. You really should, and send it out to everybody. And don't tell everybody it's a joke. What you don't tell anybody is that it's a joke. You do it as a serious thing, and just watch how many people go, "That was a joke, right?"
Well, that's the thing is, I think most people who know me would know it would be a joke. I'd have to.
Everybody that knows you would know.
Yeah.
But the people that don't would just be in that awkward little moment.
So what you're saying is I should do is just look in the phone book and just send it to random people. Be like, hey, Merry Christmas. Just my family.
No, you send it to people. You send it to acquaintances and friends.
Gotcha.
The friends would know, and those acquaintances that
They would think, but they
may
wouldn't be
not.
sure.
Yeah, they don't know. They don't.
Yeah.
They don't know. Well, maybe he is like this, and maybe he's just very different.
I think what would probably get most people wasn't what was on it. Would be the fact that they got a card. They'd be like, why is he sending me?
Oh
a
yeah,
card?
that'd be even more weird.
Yeah.
that'd be even more weird. Yeah, I got dings and everything.
It's just one of those days, brother.
Yeah,
But like I said, for me, I think what made it was being present.
right.
I didn't care much about all the stuff around us as much as I did just being there with them.
Right.
And it took the lights and stuff for that to happen. Because had we been at home, they would have been in the rooms doing what they
Right.
got to do. I would have been on the couch watching TV or whatever. We would have just kind of fallen into our routine.
Right.
So the fact that everybody was present was kind of cool. And for me, that's what brought me the most joy. It wasn't that I got something from it. Was that I was able to see them be present and be there. It was a cool experience. They had fun.
Yeah, it sounds like it. Dana then asked me. She came out with it later, and it was the same experience that you went through. So I knew what it was. I mean, I knew that you went, and she had said, "Hey, we should go do this." And I said, "Well, let's check the reviews out first." Because I wanted to make sure. I'm like, I'm not driving up to St. Augustine to go do this, and then it be a bust, because there's a lot of cool
Right.
lights, and we've always had this. Early on when we moved to the area we live in right now, there was a tradition that we had. We found this house that these people. There's always that one family that goes outrageously crazy,
That's the one. Yeah.
and there's a house like that, right? And I mean, it's like millions of lights, and so we would go there, and actually, and I still remember the date that we would celebrate, December 8th. Okay,
Okay.
so December 8th of 1998.
Oh.
Was the first time we went there. It was when we found out Dahlia was pregnant. That we were pregnant with Dahlia.
Okay. About to say, wait, what?
Yeah,
said
December.
Dahlia was pregnant,
December.
so-
Yeah. Dahlia's
Like,
not
what?
pregnant. Yeah, she better not be.
Especially not in 1990, whatever.
Right. Yeah, exactly. Well, she wasn't born yet. So December 8th, 1998 was the first time
Right.
we went. It was the same night that Dana came out and told me that we were pregnant, or she was pregnant. I say we.
Wow.
Yeah.
You
We're
had
allowed to
sympathy-
say
you
we.
had- you had sympathy
I
pains.
had sympathy pains. So from then on, every December 8th, we would go out to the same house for years and years and years. And then they moved.
Oh,
They in the December, I mean, in the 2006, 2007 time when everybody was getting foreclosed on and all
Right.
that stuff, when it was a real bad time, I think they lost their house.
that sucks.
And yeah, it was an electric bill, I'm sure.
You know
Was
what,
that-
though? The one I go to, they have this old plaque out
Yeah.
front
Yeah.
where it talks about it takes them like 3 or 4 weeks to put everything up.
Right.
They talk about the bill.
Yeah,
It was like
it's
$800-900 a month
Right.
just for the lights. And they take donations.
And they take donations. Yeah,
And
this one did too.
Yeah, in 1 year they even threatened to not threaten. I shouldn't say that word. In 1 year they said that they're going to have to shut it down. Like in 1 year,
Right.
like, look, we just can't keep this up.
Yeah.
Guys. Like we're a regular family.
Yeah.
And then thankfully they didn't. I haven't been this year, but last year it was. But that was our tradition too. Every year we would go,
Wow.
and every year they would add like something a little new. We'd try to find out what it was.
Yeah.
But same thing. It's ridiculously overdone. Like
Yeah.
it should be picked up by somebody in like
How many
Disney.
years? How many years have you seen that?
Oh gosh, I'd say at least 4 or 5. At least.
That would be weird if it's the same family that they moved into your area.
Wow, that would be weird.
Was it a recent event 4 or 5 years ago? Like all of a sudden they showed up?
I don't know how long it's been. We saw one year where they did the.
Do they hide characters and like you have to find them? Can you find Goofy? Can you find this? Can you find that?
No, if they do, I haven't found them, so I don't know.
No, you would know.
But no, they this one I don't know how long it's been there, but they it was on TV one year, and we're like, oh, we gotta go check that out.
Yeah, this one was too.
And then when I first went there, it was just that house.
Yeah.
I think they made everybody in the neighborhood feel really horrible.
Yeah.
So now the rest of the neighborhood is starting to kind of slowly catch up.
Same thing.
And there's two houses that they're trying to compete, but they don't go quite as big.
Yeah.
They go more intricate, meaning they open their garage and they have just like this little city inside their garage.
Right.
Of these little like pieces and this like train and there's this huge kind of thing that they do.
Interesting.
But yeah, it's pretty cool. But same concept.
Yeah, I miss that, man. And those are the traditions, and those are the things that, you know, also at this time of year, if your traditions went bad, you know, like if you have bad memories, you know, I always talk about just create new traditions, create new experiences and stuff like that. And that's one of the new experiences you could do. Just find that one house, and the kids loved it. And when it stopped, it was horrible because it was good to have that date.
Yeah.
It was really cool to come home on December 8th, no matter what it was. It could be a Sunday, it could be a work day, it could be a school night. It didn't matter. As long as it was December 8th, let's go. Right. So I kind of like doing it on the same day. So if you find something like that, it's really precious and priceless.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And more importantly is like you said, if you're there and you can just kind of embrace it and marinate in that moment a little bit and be like, wow, right now all is good. You know, man, my pocket may not feel as full as I wish it to be. You know, my belly may not be as full as I wish it to be. I may not be in a perfect situation, but you know what? Right now, you know, this right here, this warmth right here that I have with these people, this moment, this is priceless.
That's called enlightenment, is what that's called.
Is it?
Yeah.
I'm very zen.
That's actually
Call me Louis Zen Delgado.
Well, that's the thing I always tell people is happiness is closer to acceptance than it is to pleasure.
Absolutely.
Because, you know, the idea of acceptance is just that.
Yeah.
Our lives could always be quote unquote better. I mean, there's never going to be a moment in your life where even the richest people in the world want another dollar.
They always want more.
You know?
Yeah.
But it's those moments where you're just content.
Right.
Where you're not thinking about what you don't have or what you need or what you don't want. You're just, I'm good.
Right.
You know? And that's what happiness is.
And that's what brings me to all right, so in the surfing, Trinity,
right.
when I was, the second time when I was coming in, I mean, it felt like 5-6 minutes of riding that wave.
Sure. It was probably like 8 seconds, if that.
Oh, no. It was like 45 seconds for sure.
Oh, wow.
Oh, no. It was at least a minute of riding. Yeah.
Wow.
Oh, no. We were way out, and that wave took me all the way to shore.
Very cool.
But let me tell you, while I was riding that wave, it was just an amazing feeling because, like I said, I wanted to pop up, right? But my arms were like gone. They were like jelly.
Sure.
I mean, the ride out was harder than the ride in.
It usually is.
So I couldn't pop up, but so I decided I'm just going to ride. I'm just going to accept my situation that I'm not going to look cool. I'm not going to be cool. I'm not going to be successful in actually standing on the surfboard.
You should have done a handstand.
But what I am going to do is I'm going to embrace this ride because I'm gliding on a friggin' wave.
Yeah.
And it was effortless. Trinity, that wave was just pushing me, and it was just like I'm part of the ocean right now.
Yeah. I think that's the whole mystique of surfing.
Yeah, and so I'm just going, and I just see the wave getting close, and it was like, you know, like when you're skydiving, and you just kind of, you know, you're kind of in that. Yeah, I'm on that ride. Trinity, man, that right there was the high.
That's what you needed.
And so I learned so much about me, and here I hope you guys listen to those shows because I learned a lot about the situation, how surf is a therapy. And by doing it, and I talk a little bit about it. John Ferris is. Thank you very much, John Ferris, that works over there with Anchored Recovery. I mean, he was a great host. Beezy and Katrina and Brick. You're gonna hear about Brick. Brick saved my life. Brick? Was his name's Brick, but I was the Brick. He was actually more like the bouillon, the buoy.
Okay.
He was like the life preserver. I was the Brick. But the point is that I learned a lot about me because I'm always open to it. And here's what Trinity and I encourage people to do is always be growing, right?
Yes.
If you want to really enjoy your life and your moments that you have within your life, you got to constantly be learning from yourself. You got to be open to different things. You can't just be concrete. You know that Bruce Lee thing, be the water, be water.
Be like water.
Yeah,
water
be like water. Well, I'm not going to do the accent because then people might get upset. Remember, you're a white man. You can't do that, by the way.
Sure.
Yeah, white guys can't do that.
I'm saying roll with it. Why not?
No. See, I have the brown card, so with the brown card, I can say racial stuff, and I get my pass.
Right.
White guys can't do that.
He's Bruce Lee, though. We're all allowed to do that.
I said you can't do that, Trey.
He
You guys know it's true. So stop it.
Sure.
All right. So Bruce Lee says, "Be water, be like water, right?"
Yep.
And be water.
Yeah.
I love that because you got to go with the flow sometimes. Sometimes the world is not going to go in the pattern and the shape and the vibe and the energy that you wish it to be, but it has its own vibration that you can kind of get in sync with.
I'm gonna say it never goes the way you want it to go.
Right.
Sometimes it just accidentally looks like that.
Right.
But it's going.
Well, sometimes you know what? I'm glad it didn't go the way I wanted it to go because if
You know
the
what?
world
Me
would have
too.
went the way I wanted it to go initially, I would have never met Dana. I would have never been here with you right now. I would have never, been part of the lives of so many people and helping them as I'm able to do in this situation the way I'm living now. It would have been a very different
Same here.
existence.
I do same here. I wouldn't even be in the addiction world.
Yeah, I definitely wouldn't be in the addiction world.
Heck no.
Brother, if you would have told me this is what I was going to do for a living, you couldn't make this sound as good as it feels.
Yeah.
I would have thought you're conning me, telling me how good it feels.
Well,
I was just, wait a minute. Let me stop at one thing. You're saying be with the same woman for 26 years,
Exactly.
live in the same house,
Yeah.
and drive the same car.
No way.
And no, I would have said no.
I just posted the other day. Our anniversary was on Wednesday, and I made
Right.
just a little post about
Right.
it, roughly.
That's right. Happy
Right.
anniversary, by the way,
Thank
live
you.
on the air.
But I posted about it, and I didn't go in depth. I just kind of put a slight little thing on there about how I'm glad I was able to meet her, when I was a different stage of my life. Because there was a point in my life where, yes, had things gone the way I thought they should go,
Correct.
I was very anti-marriage,
Yeah.
very anti-kids.
Hell, when I met you, you were anti-marriage.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, we used to joke about that on the air.
Yeah, and I was very anti-kids too before.
Yeah.
I didn't want kids. I mean, if you have kids, great for you. I don't want them. And now I've got 4 of them. I'm celebrating my 2nd year anniversary.
Yeah, you doubled me up.
Yeah. So yeah, I agree. I'm glad things that didn't go the way I
Right.
wanted them to go, and that's the thing that I freak people out when it was, I don't know how many years ago now. You had me cover a group for you one time. It was a gratitude group for Thanksgiving. And when I went in there, I freaked everybody out kind of because I went completely different than what they were expecting. I think usually when you do it, you go about things to be grateful for.
Right.
You talk about the family and friends and all this other stuff. Well, I went in there and
Wait, did you just assume that I did that?
well, we've talked about it on the air before as well.
Okay.
I mean, I think that's where the emphasis is on helping people find things to be grateful for and appreciate.
Okay.
What
I would
they have.
assume that those clients were not there 1 year prior, but go ahead.
Maybe, yeah, maybe. But the route I took it with him was, I'm actually grateful for all the failures in my life. I'm grateful for every time that it didn't work,
Right.
because those are the moments where I learn the most.
Yeah, those
You
are
know,
those teaching points.
Yeah, I mean, I always say you don't learn anything by winning all the time. If you're a sports team and you're mopping the floor with competition, you're never gonna go and look at tape to get better and get proficient, because why? I'm winning.
Right.
It's when you lose, you're like, all right, what do I need to do differently?
And the great ones do, actually.
Yeah. So for me, that's what I am grateful for. I'm grateful for all the times that life was like, nah, we're going to do it this way instead, because it's always ended up better.
Right.
In the long run. It might not have felt better at the moment because I was disappointed that it didn't go the way I wanted it to go. But looking back, I'm thankful that they didn't go that way, because as you pointed out, I wouldn't be right here.
Yeah, I have projected forward by my failures much more than by my accomplishments.
Absolutely.
The failures are I don't know, man. It's like when we were, Dana and I speak of it a lot, those early years when you're really struggling, you know what I mean? And you're building your business, and all your firsts, and stuff. Those are awesome. There were some awesome moments in there. We may not have had everything we wanted, you know what I mean? And we still don't, really. But
Who does?
But the point is that, the way you're working together and the way you're kind of making it work and the way you're kind of having to embrace less than was pretty awesome.
It's the journey.
Because what I noticed is no matter how much more you have, you still kind of have the same.
That sounds deep. I want to appreciate that. Say it again.
Okay, all right. So no matter how much more I got, I still had the same. In other words, if I had $10, I spent $10.
Oh, okay, yeah.
If I had 20, I spent 20.
More money, more problems.
Yeah, but it was the same problem.
Yep.
In other words, I just had more, but I was really at the same. I was in the same place. I never moved forward because of any financial gain.
Sure.
I just had more of the same stuff, and so when their problems were there, they could be greater. Like you can't pawn a tool to pay a bill. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You'd have to, it's a bigger problem.
Sure.
If you did have a problem. But what I'm saying is that growing period, those growing periods, and I think that's why people embrace, their high school years, or they embrace their college years, or they embrace those early moments that they had, before children. It's not that those years were better. It's just you were working a lot harder, and you were in that state of confusion, kind of running around like with a chicken. I mean, like a chicken, kind of confused and afraid. And because of all those emotions, you tend to grab onto a lot of those memories and hold on to them a lot more. When you're kind of coasting, you don't tend to grab onto the moments. Well, I want to grab moments while I'm coasting, is what I'm saying.
Okay.
I think it's important to grab moments while you're coasting. Let's say times are okay and good right now. Well, embrace that too. Let's say you're not going through chaos. Embrace that too. Take a moment and enjoy that silence. It's almost, what I imagine? I imagine, that parent that's raising that child, and the child is finally having a babysitter, and they're able to just have that little
aha
peace.
moment. Like,
that little quiet time where the kids aren't yelling and asking for, lunch or something. That little quiet time.
I got 4 of them to fight constantly. I know what you're saying.
Yeah. Don't you embrace your quiet times?
when I get them, yeah.
You got it. You get them sometime, right?
It doesn't feel like it sometimes, but yes, I do get some.
And when you get it, you got to embrace it, right?
Yes. I enjoy every second of it.
Well, here's the thing. When you're using it, with a lot of addicts out there that are still using, you're afraid of being alone. It's like being alone is fear time. It's not peaceful like that, in other words. It's like terrifying, because you're alone with your thoughts. And your thoughts can be very evil sometimes, and you could think some really horrific stuff. Some people get very depressed in their thoughts, and they think really bad about themselves. They get real self-aware, but in a real negative way. Some people think real bad about others, and they have all these memories of resentments and anger at people, and start blaming them for their situation. So being alone is not so peaceful. Yeah. Whereas if you can learn how to be okay and peaceful in that alone moment, oh my God, that's such a blessing. That's being in the pocket. Yeah. That's when you're in the pocket. You're in a perfect spot, because you're gonna be alone with yourself much more than you're gonna be with others. And I don't know about you, but I've been in the crowd and I still felt alone.
Sure.
I've been in wild situations and still felt completely different and alone, even when I didn't appear to be. So that's kind of what I'm saying.
No, that's awesome. I think, I couldn't help but agree. I think that that's kind of our human nature, right? I mean, that's what that's kind of what I teach a little bit. And matter of fact, that's oddly enough, what a coincidence. That's actually what next week's show is going to be about. Is essentially that concept. About? How we cause our own suffering.
Really?
Yeah, and it's funny that it really does mimic one another, because that is the same thing. We spend all of our time thinking about our next fix of pleasure, typically, and trying to avoid our next bout of pain. We don't appreciate the moment that we're currently in, where everything is good and we're being content and happy or whatever, because this moment is typically spent thinking about, okay, I got to do this, I want to get this, I don't want that to happen, whatever. Mm-hmm. And I think that's kind of what I think I'm hearing you say is that concept of just appreciating the moment for what it is.
Yes.
Because
that's exactly what I'm saying.
We don't get very many of them, man.
Right.
I think that now, granted, we do have more on a daily basis than we're aware of, but we forget usually because we do spend so much time worrying about the next moment. We all have those moments. For some people, it's when you're paddling a wave or something. Other people, it's when you're, I don't know, maybe you're having your morning coffee and reading a paper or something. I don't know. I don't know if anybody reads papers anymore, but whatever.
Some people do.
Whatever that moment is, where it's just like maybe it's part of your routine or something.
Right.
And I think that we all have those moments, but we don't kind of realize it. Mm-hmm. If you look back on your life on a daily basis, you'll look back and realize, oh, wait a minute, I do have those moments. But without consciously thinking about it, you'll totally pass over it. Right. Because you're so worried about the next fix of pleasure or the next bout of pain.
Right.
But we all have them.
Which, again, just so, if you didn't hear earlier, that's what you did the show on, and it's on right after this show.
Oh, no, that's what the new show is going to be next week.
No, the pain part.
Oh, the pain, yes.
The pain part is right after this show.
Yeah,
See, I remember I was listening to your show.
Yeah.
I was producing it.
Yes, you were.
I was sitting there. You were making fun of me.
Sandals and Mexican garb.
No sandals, no Mexican garb. It was a Mexican jersey, just like that guitar back there. Mm-hmm. And Why do you call them sandals? Flip-flops are not sandals.
It's all the same thing, man. Tomato.
Are slides the same thing as flip-flops?
See, I don't use slides. To me, slides, I think prison. I think prison.
You wear slides.
I wear sandals.
No, you wear slides.
I wear sandals. It's the same thing. It's all the same difference. They're not closed-toed shoes.
He wears slides.
See, when I hear slides, I just think prison for some reason.
Well, then stop wearing them. That's why I won't wear them.
They're comfortable.
Oh, no, I'm not wearing slides at all.
But no, I think that, like I said, I think that's what we do that to ourselves.
Okay.
That's the worst part about it, is we do it
agree.
to ourselves. And we spend so much time blaming everybody and everything for everything that goes wrong in our lives.
Right.
But what we don't realize is the person who's doing the most damage is looking at you in the mirror. That's who does all of it to
100%.
Yep.
And the other thing about being present, I want to make sure to comment on this before we go, is giving yourself the present about being present. You know, it's also a gift to you. It's actually the best gift you can give yourself. Is just kind of embracing your little moment right there, wherever it is, and and I wish you the best. I know holidays are very difficult for a lot of people. I know a lot of people suffer through them. A lot of people don't have as great of a childhood as I feel like I had.
Right.
Even though it had its ups and downs, to me, I may have not viewed my childhood as great until I've heard so many other stories and go, wow, man, I'm a very blessed man. I had a great childhood. So and I still have my parents. I still have both my parents, and that's another thing to be blessed about. But what I'm saying is embrace all those little things that even I used to complain about. There was a meeting I was in one time, and it's just a quick little story to explain it to you. So I was in a meeting one time, and this guy was really complaining about not being able to drive. Right? He was like, I got these DUIs, and I can't drive. And he was complaining about not being able to drive, and it was hard for him to get to work. It was hard for him to get to a meeting, and just doing a lot of complaining. And to him, it was very real. It was very valid. I mean, I can relate. I mean, if I can't relate with that, but I can relate that if I didn't have a car, life would be a hell of a lot more difficult. Right, especially if you're in a town that doesn't really have a bus system or a transportation system that makes it easy. So when he said that, I'm here going like, it sounds bad. I mean, he's complaining a little bit, but so what? Go ahead and complain. Well, another gentleman took kind of offense to it and goes, listen. He goes, when I first got clean and sober, all I had was a bike. And I rode to 3 meetings a day. And I rode the bike. And it was hours. And he went on a whole story about how difficult it was to get to everywhere with his bicycle.
You had to go uphill both ways?
Yeah, it was that kind of story, right?
Sure.
And then all of us, and I thought, okay, he got you. And then all of a sudden, here's another older man. Goes, you had a bike? Exactly. And we all busted out laughing because the way he just said that, you had a bike kind of thing. And it just reminds you, it's like, no matter what your situation is, yeah, I mean, it's valid to complain, and I give yourself the permission to complain, but then also give yourself the permission to stop complaining. Yeah,
that's a big one.
And put it to rest. However you need to put it to rest. If you want to do it the corny way, and the only reason I call it corny is because so many people won't do it. They won't write it down and burn it. They won't put it in a box and bury it. They won't do it. They won't put it in a balloon and let it fly off. They won't do all those nice, beautiful therapy things that therapists really enjoy doing with you because they feel like accomplished.
Right.
We did it. We burned it. We buried it. It's gone. No, it's not gone. It's still freaking here. So whatever you need to do to burn it, bury it, or let it fly away, do it. But the point is, before you even do that, just embrace the moment that you are in and focus on those things that are good. And one of those is that we've lost a lot of people this year. We've lost a lot of good people. There's a lot of people that didn't make it in their addiction this year. Their addiction, their disease beat them this year. They lost. You're still winning. Right now, this moment, you are winning. So as miserable as you may feel, as bad as you may feel, as upset as you may feel, as frustrated, and as much of a loser as you may feel like you're not, you're still winning. So go get that victory, man. You are the strongest, fastest swimmer. Remember that.
That's how we're all born.
That's right. Any last parting words, Trainer? We got to go.
Well, I'll make it quick as I can. I'll say that it is worth it. I know for myself.
It is what?
It's worth it.
Oh, okay.
I know for myself. The only word I can come up with that it didn't make sense to me until I did it and then I saw it was peace. I always thought happiness and this. It wasn't until I started kind of flipping my perspective around myself and I got peace, the real legitimate peace.
Right.
and I knew what it was. And it's vastly different than anything else, man. That's when you truly just accept.
Right.
Having said that, I want to say, though, a couple of things. Marissa, thanks for watching.
Thank you, Marissa.
She's putting quite a bit of stuff on here. But then I have to say,
There's Kyle.
Josh is watching from the Cayman Islands.
Josh from the
On
Cayman
his
Islands.
honeymoon. So,
nice.
Congratulations
Josh.
on the wedding, brother. I love that.
It was a beautiful wedding, by the way. Thank you, Josh.
And thanks for watching from the Cayman Islands, man.
Yeah,
man. That's pretty cool.
He's in his break. He's
He is.
enjoying his moment right there in the Cayman Islands.
That is pretty
man.
cool.
Yeah. You know, I'd love to tell the story of why you're not in Costa Rica, but we could talk about that another time. Josh, you got to come on the show and tell us why you didn't go to Costa Rica. That's a great story, by the way.
All right.
All right.
I saw the pictures, though. It was very beautiful.
It was a beautiful wedding. I'm very proud of Josh. Brittany, too.
Right on.
All right.
like
So any birthdays or anything?
Once again, my phone is over there, man. So.
All right, you never know. All right. So happy birthday, everybody, that it's their birthday. You know who you are. I always forget. Facebook reminds me of what people's birthdays, but we got to get up on out of here. So just remember, just be present in your moment, and whatever moment you're in, just be present. And we all can complain about something, but you know that old joke of nobody cares, nobody's listening anyway. You know what? You care. How about you care? You care, and you enjoy the moment that you're in a little bit, because that's what really matters. No matter what it is, right? All right, Trini. So we do got to get out of here. So adios, amigos. It's time for a taco. Have a happy holiday. We're going to play replays. Remember. Thanks again to Journey Pure, Retreat Premier Addiction Treatment Centers, the Now Matters More Foundation in Orange County Drug-Free Office. And we're going to be playing replays of the trip out to Anchored Recovery out in California. So please listen to those shows. They're pretty interesting of talking about it. Again, special thanks to John Ferris for that. And thanks to Steve Moderano for having me on Recovery Radio today. So you're going to hear that starting Monday. That show will be on. Very cool. Starting next Monday will be the Recovery Radio where I was on as a guest. So, all right. Adios, amigos. It's time for a taco. Goodbye.
And that was without even a single drop of rum.